Let's go, boys. Let's go. Session 1 is started. Quite. Alright. So we go. So we go. Alright. Yeah, मैं वो करना तो चाहूँगा but I don't have that many. 3, 4, then then followed by Bhutan, Arunachal Pradesh. हाँ, पेट भी खोल लेते. This seems like an easy question. What the hell? What can be there? Huh? Followed by Bhutan is the question. Okay. I guess it is like this. Okay. Okay. So this is the border that is shared. So either Myanmar or Bhutan. This is pretty large, I guess, right? That is pretty large. I would say Myanmar. It is Myanmar, not Bhutan. Borders only 3 states. Only 3. Assam is one of them. Sikkim and uh, your Nagaland. Second is true. Lasham excursion. What the fuck? No, ये mass extension event तो नहीं है. Saharan dust makes up half of the Aeolian dust fed to the ocean. What? Large quantities can cause algal blooms. Space and major disaster. Default swaps. हाँ ये strong question है. This is good quality question. Credit default swaps. ये हम किसी country के साथ agreement किया था credit default swap का. नहीं, क्रेडिट डिफॉल्ट स्वैप्स तो एक अग्रीमेंट है, तो फर्स्ट तो गलत है. Consider for the state of the International Charter on Space and Major Disaster. It is a worldwide collaboration among space agencies through which satellite-derived information and products are made available to. First seems correct. Only agencies that possess and are able to provide satellite-based Earth observation can be members of the participants. सहारन डस्ट मिक्स अप, ये तो कुछ सहारन डस्ट मुझे तो नहीं पता है. कार It's amazing. It's amazing, bro. खैर 900 protected areas होंगे तो फिर it is so easy to just find anything, right? Carla Pet. Uh, well, it is not in the east. Jaldapada and all those things are there. But Pachmari and Neora and all that. Rajasthan also there is not. क्योंकि वो वशिष्ठ is there, Ranthambore, Sariska, and then Mukundra, Tiger Hills all that. Then Wayanad, Mudumalai, they don't have this. I I believe that it is Odisha. I have not seen this in this area, but that does not mean it does not exist. So yeah, extended fund facility is associated with which of the following organizations? Extended fund facility, not IMF, first of all, because IMF has SDR. Probably new development. eDNA beta barcoding. Pollution response. All. Generally, if only the option is outrageous, then only that option is removed. But the technology applications are endless. You cannot tell me that that cannot happen. Zere Kore, Indonesia, Al Hal, Doro. I don't know this. Hydrogen generated from fossil fuel with carbon capture is called grey hydrogen. Ah, green hydrogen? Black, blue hydrogen. Wait. Blue hydrogen. Sorry, so I was right, it was blue hydrogen. So this is incorrect. The benefit of fuel cell electric vehicles over battery power per unit volume and weight. Jezero crater. The flow test. Anytime he objectively feels a current power has lost his confidence. Flow test at any time he objectively feels. for the Speaker's decision on the resignation. Obviously, legislature can call it. I know confidence motion. But obviously, governors also have discretion when they believe. So first is correct. First I believe is correct. Because they have the discretion when they have lost confidence. They cannot remove, but they can definitely floor test. Has to wait. Why? Why he has to wait? If, for example, Speaker's decision is that she grants resignation or she accepts the resignation of the rebel MLA, then does it have any difference? If she does not, then does there exist any difference? Well, resignation of the rebel MLA. Ah, got it. Situation can be that the rebel MLA has a problem with the government. Probably he does not believe. So, for example, let us say that this rebel MLA is good. The government has lost confidence, and that is why he is rebel, and he is tendering resignation. So this does not. The speaker decision has no bar on governor objectively feeling that that the government in power has lost confidence. The second does not make any sense because these two things are completely different. Speaker's decision is with respect to the MLA and his ability to contest the election or not, right? Or his ability to leave the seat or not, right? That is speaker decision. That has no bar on government. The second does not make any sense. First is correct. So like thing that thing. Obviously it's not respect. It's not. Paying that thing. Pangong तो लतांग लगा दो पेंगोंग सो है मुझे पता है कि ये नहीं है बट हो सकता है इसका दूसरा नाम हो we'll see anti-dumping and anti-subsidy measures fall in the realm of trade and fiscal policy of the government. Fiscal simply means with respect to revenue, the government, and trade. Huh? Anti-dumping is not general, it cannot be, because anti-dumping has to do with a specific product. For example, cold rolled steel from China specifies that there has to be the country of origin, that is China. There has to be the product steel for this particular import to be subjected to anti-dumping because of a very valid reason, the countervailing measure. And it does fall in trade and fiscal policies. At the end of the day, fiscal policies would mean that generate revenue or where government spends expenditure. Fiscal policies would mean whatever government earns and whatever government spends. All the policies with regards to that is fiscal in nature. And the realm of trade, and obviously anti-dumping and anti-subsidy measures are trade related measures. The first is correct, second is wrong. Trade remedies, commerce and industry, Ministry of Finance is wrong. Trade remedies, external affairs, and Ministry of Home Affairs is wrong. Either commerce or external affairs. Greater adjutant's torque. What the fuck? Kala namak rice. Diclofenac is there. Meloxicam is good. तो थर्ड को काट देते हैं. Ketoprofen. That's it. Each polar vortex is separated from a warmer area between jet stream. Warmer areas by jet stream. So yes, with a jet stream, it is confined to the polar region on both sides. Antarctic polar front jet stream is more uniform and constant than its Arctic counterpart, and that is correct because Antarctic is very cold. The jet stream strength is directly related to the temperature difference there is between the warmer areas, that is the tropics and subtropics, and the polar area. Since Antarctic provides that temperature difference, and so does Arctic, but Antarctic's temperature difference is much larger, meaning much stronger jet streams and much more confined jet streams. But in the other region, it is found that the polar vortex ever so often just loses its strength and it diverges from the poles towards the northern parts of Canada and Russia. So second is correct and first is also correct. Pagdi Sambal Jatta. What the fuck? Inheritance with by primogeniture, that does not seem correct. What? Why would they do this? This does not. Plus, primogeniture means that the biggest kid gets the land or the inheritance. That cannot be agitated. That will not ever be agitated against. So that completely gives me this answer, I guess. 20. Lake Chad is bordered by Chad. Just saying, one is saying that it does not. Okay, Lake Chad. Oh, Nigeria, Cameroon, Cameroon. Okay, exactly. Nigeria is the upper one, and Niger is the lower one. Nigeria is the lower one. Nigeria is the lower one. And then there is Sudan. Okay, I would say Cameroon does not. Cameroon is very far away from all these three. Uh, what notation is the SMN1? Corruption perception. Transparency International है, Oxfam है. Okay, okay. So first of all, it is not WEF. Oxfam Result Inequality Transparency International. Spurti scheme. Chinese. This is Chinese, right? A rise in bond yield means interest rate in the monetary system have fallen. They move opposite. That is correct. I mean, they don't move opposite. Wait, I will tell you. Bond yields are like interest rates. Are like interest rates of a particular. If bond yield is higher, that means that particular interest that I am getting from that bond is higher. In a sense, it is the percentage, right? So, so yield is interest. All right, bond yield is interest on the bond. So, but if the demand is more, if the demand is more, uh, the yield decreases. It does not increase. So if bond yield rises there, then there will that completely means monetary system, it does not specifically mean government bonds. It just means that people are choosing bonds, right? Increases. Bond yield increases. That means people are not purchasing bonds. That means people are not pumping in bonds. So there is, so if bond yield is there, equity returns. Bond yields are directly proportional to equity returns. If bonds, if bond yields are more, that would mean that people are not buying as much bonds. That would mean that the company is going to struggle. That would mean that equity returns will not be there. Second is wrong. A rise in bond yield means interest rates in monetary system have fallen. That interest rate falling means that there is liquidity in the system. In the monetary system, there is liquidity. So if liquidity would have been more, if there would have been more liquidity, then the bond yield cannot rise. Because if there is more money in the monetary system, then it would make sense for you to, because now there is speculative demand of money which has decreased because people are holding more money. Now they will have to invest, but that would mean that they will invest in multitude of things, of which bonds are also one of them. When this happens, this inevitably increases the demand of bonds, which would inevitably decrease the bond yield, because the constancy of the interest that a bond generates implies this, because the price is not the same. Price changes. Price is directly proportional to, inversely proportional to demand increases. The price is directly proportional to the demand. So bond yields price increases, which means the denominator increases, which means yield decreases. So basically that happens. So interest rate, in fact, so the bond's interest rate, that is bond yield, decreases if demand is more. That would mean that if demand is lesser, that would mean that interest rates have not fallen. Yes, this is what it is. It does not mean what would happen after rise. It is that there is a rise in bond yield. That would clearly mean that what is the reason? That reason is a rise in bond yield means that there is less demand. People are holding money. That means that there is less liquidity in the monetary system. That would mean that the interest rates have not fallen. In fact, they have either remained the same and something bad has happened, there has been a shock, or the interest rates have increased in the market by the other players other than RBI. That is what has happened. So, first is wrong, and second is also wrong. Diwali initiative. Waste, I guess. General electricity regulatory has been established by government. Electricity Act. Tariff. Third is correct. Third has to be correct, and that means first is correct. Regular interstate transmission of electricity. What? NCDC, National Cooperative Development Corporation. Um, okay. Yes. Second is correct. It is a statutory corporation under Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare. And this both is correct. I understand this one. Sovereign guarantee. It is a promise by the government to discharge the liability of a third person in case of his default. That is correct. The Constitution of India extends the executive power of the Union to the giving of guarantees on the security of consolidated fund of India. So extends the executive power means it gives the authority of taking decisions to the Union to give guarantees on the security of CFI. So that so does it lie with the executive or the legislature? All I know is you cannot do anything from CFI without asking the parliament. That is final. That is final. So how? So that is in contravention with that rule, because if there is anything that you need to do with respect to CFI, then you have to ask the state, uh, parliament. You have to ask the Lok Sabha's permission to do anything, which means that there is no executive power, there is no decision making authority with the union. Uh, there is no executive power with respect to that. Is it lies with the legislature. Okay. Consider the following statements and identify the wildlife sanctuary. It has earned the name for only rehabilitation center for star tortoise. It forms an integral part of the block of protected forest straddling the Kerala Tamil Nadu border. Kerala Tamil Nadu border in the Annamalai Hills, main Pulayars and Muthuars. I don't know. Rise in international crude prices may lead to the weakening of rupee because BOP uh, will get adversely affected, because BOP will be adversely affected simply means that we will have to expend dollars, making dollars rare, which would mean that the rupee will weaken. Rising inflation, obviously, because if our imports are oil dependent, and increase in the rate of, simply if there is an increase in the rate of rates or the prices of transportation, that instantly increases the cost of everything. So second is correct and first is correct. Third, higher interest rates by RBI to control this rising inflation. Because RBI's primary responsibility is to control interest rates. So we can expect this. The second largest global energy consumer. India is not the second largest global energy consumer. It cannot be. US and China will always lead India. India's share in the growth in renewable energy is the second largest. I can get behind that. Bond yield is affected by which of the following factors? Monetary policy of the RBI. Monetary policy of the RBI simply means the interest rates of the instruments of monetary policy, the OMO, LSF, and marginal standing facility, liquidity, uh, standing facility, and obviously repo rate. So these are the monetary policy, basically affecting the liquidity in the market. So bond yield is affected by this. So basically bond yield actually is affected by the amount of money in the system. All right, how much liquidity is in the system. If high liquidity, then bond yield will decrease. So what affects the liquidity? All these three things affects the liquidity. Okay, uh, this is GG. The earliest evidence of the Karakal in the subcontinent comes from fossil dating by civilization. Abul Fazl only along. ये तक गलत है. Third is wrong. First is being correct. Maybe. Who cares? Agni. Yeah. Yes. I don't know. Article 247 of the Constitution speaks of the power of the Parliament to provide for the establishment of certain additional codes in respect. What? What? Version of certain. I don't know, man. Maybe this bird lose their teeth. Lost their teeth. Hey, hedge. State that cannot be true. Maybe Nair Service Society. E Dakhil. Shit's been such a. The Consumer Protection Act. ये मुझे नहीं पता. ई दाखिल पोर्टल क्या है? I don't know, man. Ravidas. Panchwani text. Somewhere we have discussed Nirgun's themes as well as ideas that are the foundation of Nath Yo philosophy. I don't know. Western Himalayas. Oh, it's critically endangered. Since I'm by the cabinet secretary, ये मुझे पता है. And elected member of the house can be disqualified from being a member if she wins the election. Joining the this is wrong. 30. God damn, I was really bad. Fuck, 21. Huh? Oh, okay. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. Okay, okay. Yeah. Woo! आह सिक्किम कहाँ से जोड़ दिया मैंने स्टूपिड ओके सहार किया नहीं ओके ओके इट्स नाइस ओके आईएमएफ नहीं है बोल दिया मैंने ah 16% that hurts a lot damn oh my god okay all right I know it would be not be like that but that is important trade remedial Hmm, this I knew right so 1 and 2 all right this did, I did not know this I knew and all of you wow what the fuck Chad nice this I did not know ये मुझे पता था स्फूर्ति में भूल गया था I miss me fuck ये तो blind guess था absolutely oh shit how the fuck what more a fall in the bond prices rise bond yield fall what the fuck fall in interest rate makes bond prices rise I just wanted यार मैंने किया तो था damn मेरे को bond yield समझ नहीं है इसका मतलब let's see interest rates and stocks bond yield is straight up like interest of a bond. As bond yield is equals to interest amount by bond price. If we bond yield into bond price is it's just like very index. But differ in one different place. Well, loans have their meaning if demand of bond goes up. Ah, okay. So the problem that I did was I did not equate bond yield with government bond yield. And I also considered this as well. So bond yield. Ah, okay. Okay. So if government bond yield is rising, the interest rate will rise. ये बोल रहा है. अच्छा नहीं. Okay, wait. What the fuck? A rise in bond means interest have fallen. तो मैंने इसको मना किया था कि interest would increase and I assume a rise in bond yield means that there is. Okay, मैंने क्या बोला था? The rise in bond yield would mean that there is low liquidity. So अच्छा interest rate. इसलिए मैंने कहा था कि लिक्विडिटी इज लो तो इंटरेस्ट रेट. ओके ओके. अच्छा वैसे नहीं बनता. डू नॉट लाइक दैट. A rise in bond yield simply means that the interest rates are now higher. Or in rise, यहाँ तक मैंने सही समझा था. ये rise in bond yield would mean that there is lesser liquidity uh, in the system. Okay, so this is not easy because they are saying something else. Okay, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Nice. I got caught here is nice. It is nice to get caught here. A fall in interest rate makes bond prices rise. Fall in interest rate would mean that liquidity is higher. Liquidity is higher, that would mean that demand have increased. Demand increases, bond yield decreases. है ना? So interest rate and bond yield are going in the same direction. Huh? What? What? A rise in bond yields. What the fuck? ये तो opposite है. What? ये तो opposite है. ये दोनों चीजें opposite बोली गई हैं. What? What the fuck? Bond yield is a result is the return investor get from that bond. Exactly. The major factors affecting yield is the monetary policy of the RBI, especially the course of interest rates, fiscal position, its borrowing program, global market economy and inflation. With the pandemic upsetting the calculation, the benefit at 6.8%. A fall in interest rate makes bond prices rise. And bonds fall. Rising interest fall bond prices and bond yields to rise. Uh, so rise is there. When does rise in occur? Only when there is rising interest rate. Rising interest rate cause bond yield to rise. What? अबे, are they stupid or what? Opposite things बोली गई हैं भाई. So let us say. So जी bond yield का formula is very simple. Bond yield. मैथमेटिक्स नहीं आती है लग रहा है लोग. Is interest. Let us even make it more clear. Fixed interest, right? Fixed interest divided by uh, bond price. Fixed interest divided by bond price. ठीक है. ये this is directly proportional to demand, and this thing is fixed, which implies that by, let's say by is bond yield, is inversely proportional to demand. ठीक है. This is there. As it sees that bond yield is the return. Oh. Fall in interest rate makes bond prices rise. So interest rates. So let's say though interest rate is abbreviated as IR, is inversely related to bond price. Let us say that they are BP. So which would mean that the demand of bond is also inversely proportional to the interest rate. So, if demands of bond, so interest rate if increases, demand of bond decreases. If interest rate increases, bond price decrease. Because if interest rate is increasing, there is less liquidity. People will not invest in bonds. Lesser investment will be there. Let me please. So interest rate is inversely proportional to bond price. It is inversely proportional to demand. Interest rate, as he said here, that a fall in interest rate makes bond price rise. As I have said here, a fall in interest rate would make bond price rise. Simple. That would mean that there is lesser demand. So if increase in interest rate has happened, bond price decreases, demand decreases. If demand decreases, then bond yield increases. So interest rate has to be proportional to bond yield. They should move in the same direction. Let's just see. What does a rise in bond yield mean? Directly, we have uh, here. The question here was, if you can see, let's go. I am interested with that first of all. Above all else, I was very confident that I did it correctly. But if I am told otherwise, then I will do the due diligence. That where was my understanding that was lacking that caused me to answer the question incorrectly. And here it is. A rise in bond yield means interest rate in the system have fallen. A rise in bond yield. What does a rise in bond yield mean? No, please, no. Alright. If one has to explain in simple terms, bond yield means the returns an investor will derive by investing in the bond. This is the annual coupon rate divided by the current market price. Therefore, there is an inverse relationship between the yield and price of the bond. As the price of the bond goes up, the yield falls. And if the price of the bond goes down, the yield goes up. If you are investing in debt instruments such as debt mutual funds, it is important to understand the concept of bond yield. As a movement in bond yield reflects the changes in the price of the bond. As the debt funds have to value their debt holding on market price, a fall in bond price may result in mark-to-market losses. This will impact the returns of the debt funds. Alright. In India, the yield of 10-year government security is considered the benchmark and shows the overall interest rate scenario. This year, the G-Sec yields have gone up compared to the previous year after the center announced its increased borrowing program. As government borrowing goes up, the supply of bonds in the market go up, putting pressure on prices. Supply goes up, which would mean that more competition, bond prices have decreased, which would increase the bond yield, explaining the relationship. To control the rise has announced the secondary blah blah blah. What the fuck? इसमें नहीं लिखा था. Why do bond prices go down when interest rate rises? When interest rate rise, bond prices fall. Bond prices fall. This is because when the interest rate rise, right, investor can get a better rate of return elsewhere. So the price of original bond adjusts downwards to yield at the current rate. In return, receives fixed interest rate, usually semi-annual. Each other on the interest income. When interest rates go up, new bonds come up with higher rate and provide more income. When rates go down, new bonds have a lower rate and aren't as tempting as older bonds. Issues can't increase their rates the same level as the older bond rates are locked in based on the original terms. As a result, the only way to increase competition is to reduce the bond price. As a result, the original bondholder has an asset that has decreased in price. It also does not pay out as much. Suppose the bond has a 3% coupon rate, which means that it pays you $30 per year. If you are paid every 6 months, you will receive $15 in coupon payments. Suppose you want to sell your bond 1 year later, but the market interest rate has increased to 4%. Because buyers can now purchase 1,000 bond with $20 6-month payment, your $15 coupon payment does not look so great. New bond. The buyer would receive 40 yearly for 10 years for a total of 400. The buyer would receive 30 yearly for 9 years for a total of 270. To induce a buyer, you will have to sell your bond at a discount. They would need to purchase a bond from you from 925 instead of 1000 you paid. 925 into 4% is 30, I guess. Well, it is much more than 30. 925. Wait a minute. 1000 you are getting 30 per year. That is 3%. So 30 by 1000 is 3%. And 30 by 925 is what? So if this is 3 by 4. So uh, so if I multiply this into 3 by 4, that I would get. So 1000 divided by 4 is 500 and 250, right? Into 3. Okay. No. So I have used what? How much have I used? I will get your bond for 9 years. Okay, after 1 year. After 1 year. Okay. So for 9 years. So the bond is for 9 years. Okay. Yes. The bond is for 9 years. So what should be the price? The bond is for 9 years. So that would mean that $270 are left to be given. So 270 divided by 9. That would mean 30 will be the return. So 270 would be the return. 3% annual rate. 300. But I were to get 300. The 1300. Okay. So to justify. So 270. So now 270. So 270 should be what you get on 4 into 9. So if you get 4 into 9% of the bond price, then it should be 270. That is 270 should be 36% of the bond price, basically, of BP. And now the bond price is, for example, what it should be, 270 divided by 36 into 100. This should be the bond price at which I must sell. So this is 9, this is 4, and this is 3. Yeah, 3 by 4. $750 I mean as a bond price. No, this is not correct. Because this will be 500 divided by 2, that is 250 into what? For 9 years, bro. For 9 years. Why would he pay for my shit, right? Why 925? $925 is such a bekar deal. It is so bad. It is absolutely horrendous. What? If I pay you 925, I will only get 270 for 9 years. Why would I pay 925? Why would it be 925? Why? I will be getting 3. What? If I paid 925, if I paid 925 for a 9-year bond on 4% interest rate, 36% of 925. That is such a very, that's so bad. So basically 4% of 925. What is 4 into 925? 37. We're getting 37 for 9. I would be getting 37. Why? So bad. This deal is so bad. I will never purchase this. What? 925. Roughly how much the discount might be, which takes into account current value, how many coupons, how much each coupons future value of the bond. For example, if you purchased at 3 which had 18 coupons each of $15, this is how an increasing rate. Oh, so they understand if there is an increase or there is a decrease. Oh, no, 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 no. Again, I am doing it way wrong. This is wrong because I completely forgot. I have completely forgot one thing. So 270 he is giving for 9 years plus the 1000 that he borrowed. So he's getting 1270. That is what he is getting. Divided by 925. What it should be? What it should be? So over the 9-year period, so this should be 1.36 or larger, greater than 1.36. Simple. So he would be getting 270 plus 1000. This calculation should be there. Okay. 1270 divided by 925. Exactly. Exactly. This is the calculation that he was. Yeah, that makes sense. Alright. Yeah, if divided by 1.36 simply would give you 133.8 to be exact. 933.8. That is what he should be focusing on. 37, it is 927, 38, 920. That is how they have calculated it. That is how they have calculated. So clearly, To keep interest low, you have to keep yield down. Then how can they be opposite? How can they be opposite? There is no way. When interest rates go up, prices of fixed rate bonds fall, prices fall, yield goes up. Effect of market interest rate on bond prices and yield. I don't give a shit कहाँ से उठाया है. Finally, this is Security and Exchange Commission of the United States. Alright? Nothing better you will get. A fundamental principle of bond investing is that ये कहाँ से है? Office of Investor Education and Advocacy. Security and Exchange. Security and Exchange Commission. United States. Alright? I don't give a shit where you got your fucking bekar information from. A fundamental principle of bond investing is that market interest rate and bond prices generally move in opposite directions. When markets interest rate rise, when they are going up, prices of fixed rate bonds fall. This phenomenon is known as interest rate risk, a seesaw. All right. This is 101% correct. Now I don't know if bond yield are going to do the same thing. I mean, if they will follow the formula or some devious shit is going on. Market, okay. A bond's yield to maturity show how much investor's money will earn if the bond is held until its maturity. For example, as the table illustrates, let's say a treasury bond offers a 3% coupon rate, and a year later, market interest rates fall. The bond will still pay a 3% coupon. So what is happening? Market interest rates fall would simply mean that bond yield will also fall because they move in the same direction. Remember that, right? That is what we have predicted. So what does Security Exchange Commission of the United States of America says? For example, as the table illustrates, let's say a treasury bond offers a 3% coupon rate, and a year later market interest rates fall to 2%. fall गिर रहे हैं, नीचे जा रहे हैं, going down. All right, the bond will stay at a 3% coupon rate, making it more valuable than new bonds paying just a 2% coupon rate. If you sell the 3% bond, before it matures, you will probably find that its price is higher than it was a year ago. Along with the rise in price, however, the yield to maturity of the bond will go down for anyone who buys the bond at a new higher price. The yield to maturity of the bond, the yield to maturity of the bond, the yield will go down. The yield to maturity of the bond will go down for anyone who buys the bond at the new higher. Down. The yield goes down. The yield goes down. Market interest rate fall, then the yield to maturity of the bond will go down, fall down. Market interest rate 3%, yield 3%. 1 year later, market interest rate 2%, yield is 2%. Going in the same direction. It is going in the same direction. Same direction. All right. If market interest rate fall, yield to maturity is fall. If this has happened, this clearly means that interest rate would have fallen. All right. All right. Let's go further. Let's go further. Let's go further. If it increased, the interest rate increased. A rise means interest has fallen is incorrect. It is incorrect because Indian Express is wrong. Indian Express is wrong. So these 35% people who have answered are wrong. The 35% people are wrong. Are wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. Indian Express is wrong here. It is wrong here. It is wrong here. Wrong. It is wrong. It is wrong. This is wrong. If rising bond yield is a problem, then why the fuck RBI is reducing it? Is it stupid? Why the fuck is RBI reducing interest rate? Is RBI stupid? Are they retarded? No, no, they are not. They are correct. Indian Express is wrong. Clearly. How is RBI trying to keep it down? We'll see. We'll see. We'll see that, oh, bond yield is increasing. RBI will reduce the interest rate. Clearly, it will try to reduce the interest rate. You will see. Simply, if in this article of Financial fucking Express, Indian Express is financial arm, if it says that RBI is going to reduce the interest rate to control the bond yield from going up, if it wants the bond yield to go down, RBI reducing the interest rate, then Indian Express explained portion was wrong. All right. What will be the RBI decision? I predict that they will try to reduce the market interest rate. And that fucking shit explainer said that it would, in short, a rise in bond yield means interest rates have fallen. Fuck off, chutiye. Kuch bhi. We'll see. A rise in bond yield means interest rate have fallen. That means you have to increase interest rate to reduce bond yield. This is what he is saying. This is what he is saying, that if bond yield are increasing and interest rate are falling, that means that increase the interest rate and bond yield will fall, because bond yield, if it is bond yield is inversely proportional to equity returns. All right, that everybody knows. That they have said it is correct, right? All right. Okay, so what is RBI doing? to negate the impact of its decision to keep key interest rates low. Wait, what? An increase in yield to maturity indicates normal coupon below normal coupon rate. Coupon rate. What? Ye and below normal. The market value of the bonds. Uh, Coupon rate. How the coupon rates are falling? Coupon rates are fixed. Uh, Depending on the change of the coupon rate, the prices of the existing bond may vary. Huh. This is correct. Also, in case the coupon rate of a bond is forcibly kept low, coupon rate of the bond is forcibly kept low. So, if interest rates are increasing, uh, face value, and mean the same for the entire. Okay, so coupon rate is same. All right. Face value 1,000 in coupon rate is 600 will fetch P60 per year. Bond percent. If the price of the face value 1,000 falls to P60, price falls, yield increases. Simple. It's the annual amount of interest that they owe you. यहाँ पे they have supported. They have said that okay, so that means that I am wrong. Varkhare said a rise in bond yields means interest rates in the monetary system have fallen. What the fuck? कौन है ये कौन है? Who is Varkhare? How can he say such a thing? A rise in bond yields mean interest rates have fallen? Huh? What the fuck? ये क्या है फिर? मार्केट इंटरेस्ट रेट और इंटरेस्ट रेट ऑफ द मार्केट क्या अलग चीजें हैं क्या? What? Are you stupid? Is this guy retarded or what? That is not correct. Of rising yield on investors. A rise in bond yield means interest rate in the monetary system have fallen. The percentage rate of return for the bond, assuming that the investor holds it till maturity. The coupon rate is the annual amount of interest. Is the annual amount of interest. He must have meant that a rise in bond price means monetary. Just that. He must have said this. And they misread it. Definitely it cannot be true. What is this? This is not true. This cannot be true. This cannot be true. Right here you can see it. They have to go in the same direction. They cannot go in different directions, bro. The interest rate and bond prices are in inverse relation, and bond yield also is in inverse direction. Is in the inverse direction. The bond prices and bond yield are same direction. How the fuck that works? Is the percentage rate of return for a bond. How can that be same? Percentage rate of return. Percentage rate of return. It is a percentage rate of return. Your coupon rate is remaining the same. That means that the coupon rate is the annual amount of interest that the owner of the bond will receive. So annually you are getting same amount of money. So if the right to get that money is coming at a higher price, that completely means that the percentage rate of return has reduced. So if higher the price, the rate of return has reduced. Higher the price, the rate of return has reduced. If I am getting 100 rupees for 100 rupees, then the rate of return is 100%. If for 1 lakh crore rupees I am getting 100 rupees, there is no rate of return basically. This is completely this. He must have meant bond prices. This is definitely wrong. This reporting is wrong, and all of this has led to so much confusion. Read more to completely clear it up. Fucked it up for everyone. They fucked it up for everyone. Significantly affected by monetary policy, this policy may come from the actions of a central bank. Monetary policy at its core is about determining interest rate. In turn, interest rate defines the risk-free rate of return. The risk-free rate of return has a large impact on the demand of all types, including bonds. Key takeaways: bonds are significantly affected by monetary policy. A bond yield is based on the bond's coupon payment divided by its market price. As bond price increase, the bond yields fall. Falling interest rate makes bond prices rise and bond yields fall. Fuck this shit. All right, this is correct. This is correct. Bilkul koi. There is no chance that I am wrong. So what makes bond prices move? Several things, but a key one is prevailing interest rate, and is the second cardinal rule to remember. Second cardinal rule to remember about bonds: when interest rates are low, bond prices increase because investors are seeking a better return. Say the Federal Reserve slashes the federal funds rate, the interest rate charges bank on which the return interest rates are based, from 3% to 1%. If there is a bond trading on the market that's paying 4%, that's suddenly going to be a lot, and everyone's going to want it. So in the time honored tradition of supply and demand, its price will go up, and because you are paying more for it, its yield becomes less. Simple enough. I don't think that you need anything else now. Of course the inverse is true as well. Wow. Absolutely horrific. Creating so much problem. Straight up, straight up, 3 sessions are done. Straight up, 3 sessions are done. Sessions are done with what? 10 minutes to boot. Hello. Oh shit. Fuck. Misclick. What the fuck? Shit. This is another fucking opportunity. I'm getting swindled as fuck. got obliterated. Oh shit. Ah, last. Finally, I'm starting to win, bro. Damn, it was so frustrating. Damn, after that, ah, whew, finally. All right. Oh, damn. So how much? Half an hour did I play? Yep, absolutely half an hour I played. So that was just too much. Damn. So exactly. So this was wrong. This was wrong, written by George Matthew and picked up from Warkhari. Probably this is wrong reporting. This guy meant to say bond prices, but actually just said yields, and they just gobbled it up and didn't think it through, neither asked, nothing. But the thing remains the same. Inverse is also true. That is what you will get you marks, not the IS Baba test or the test Indian Express, etc. would put in. Okay, please understand that. Mm, Let me just make a video to just make me let me make a video with respect to this. All right. So basically, this video is about Indian Express is wrong about bond yields, and what it says is that in short, a rise in bond yields means interest rates in monetary system have fallen. This is false. This is incorrect. This is actually misreporting and then put and explained by Financial Express. The misreporting is here. Varkhari said a rise in bond yield means interest rates in the monetary system have fallen. What I do believe is that what he meant to say was bond prices, because bond prices and interest rate are inversely proportional, as can be seen in the Security Exchange Commission of United States and Investopedia site. All of these sites categorically say that whenever the interest rates are falling, the bond yield must fall, as you can see, or vice versa, and inverse is also true, which would mean that, for example, take this term. For example, this table is market rates and yield to maturity. Yield to maturity. What is bond yield exactly? Bond yield is nothing but fixed interest, that is also known as coupon rate, divided by bond price, the price of the bond. So what happens is, at a particular time, there is some kind of a liquidity in the system. Now the investors have to make a decision whether they want to keep the money or they want to invest. So if there is large liquidity in the system, then the people will try to invest as much as possible to get high returns, which would mean that there is demand for investing options, one of which is bonds. Bonds are generally of companies or government agencies, which would mean that demand increase is increase of bond price, and bond price is inversely proportional to bond yield. And now, as you can see, that if there is more demand, that would mean that there has been more liquidity, and liquidity is inversely proportional to interest rate. So liquidity is inversely proportional to interest rate, and it is directly proportional to bond price. It is hence is inversely proportional to bond yield, which would mean that bond yield and interest rates are directly proportional. Every other thing is kept constant. The concepts in economics, when we are talking about if we are talking about macroeconomics especially, then these concepts are thought of in a bubble in which every other thing is kept constant, and then we see in that particular model what will happen. So they propose a seesaw model for interest rate and bond prices. It is very, as I cleared it up earlier, when the interest rate was a proxy for the liquidity in the system. What will happen if I have some money and if I have some investing opportunity? Then what, as an investor, as my job is to get more money or get returns of the money that I hold. So I will invest in multiple options. For example, debt mutual fund actually invests in bond, and hence for debt mutual funds and their managers, bond yield is a very important indicator. So the interest rates are inversely proportional, seesaw relationship between bond prices and interest rates. So if interest rates rise, that would mean the liquidity is reduced. If liquidity is reduced, demand is reduced, which would mean that bond price will fall. So interest rate increases, bond price falls. So here is a table that they made. So for example, at a time you purchased a bond of $1,000. It is a bond which matures in 10 years, which would, and the market interest rate is at 3%, and the face value is 10,000, and the coupon rate is 3%, which would mean that at the end of the 10 years, the total amount of interest that you generated, the return that you generated, will be 300 if you held this bond till maturity. So the bond yield till maturity is 300 divided by 1000, which is divided by 1000 divided by 10, that is 3% per year. All right, yield to maturity is 3% per year. All right, so for example, so this is now any loan given or a bond given. So if a bank gives a loan at 3%, or if it gives that particular money to a company through purchasing of a bond, they will be equal. Now, so for example, the market interest rate fall to 2%. What would happen is that now 1 year has passed. Now you will only get $270 in the upcoming 9 years from this bond, because the coupon rates are fixed. That means the interest that you are generating per year is fixed. So now what will you need to do to actually make it so that this particular bond is of equivalent value as per the market supply and demand? So what you will do is, now the face value is 1000. When the face value is 1000, you will get at the end of this bond, you will get 1000 and 270. So now you will get 1270. Now 1270, if the demand the interest rate is lower, people are not going to buy. The interest rates are lower, the people are going to buy, because there is more liquidity. The demand will increase. So now I can now that 3% is much more the 3% interest return rate is much more lucrative, right? 3% is much more lucrative as compared to 2%. Now, as the interest rate have fallen, the banks will be more willing to give the banks will be inclined to give the money to the bonds as compared to giving loans on the interest rate of 2%. So now, when will the equilibrium be achieved? The equilibrium will be achieved when the banks find that the bonds and the giving of loans are equal with respect to their returns. So that when would that happen? That would happen when the yield is of 2%. That is the equality. That is where the equality is coming from. That is where everything is arising, because the option have to be equal at equilibrium. The option of giving interest or obtaining a yield are going to those things are equal. These two things are equal and they cannot go opposite. There is no trade-off between these two things. These are comparable things. These are the same, because these are two options with respect to the investors. So they cannot move in different directions, and that is what is shown here. So the price will adjust itself. So now you will be at the end of the maturity, you will be getting 1270. So now the 1270 would should generate 1.18%. That is 9 into 2 is 18. So the 1.18 into 1082 should be your 1270. I will show you this. Into 1.18 is $1276, right? So you kind of get it what they are trying to. So you get it what they are trying to say. So 1082 is roughly, so basically it is more like 108 1.5 or 1 or 1080 or 107 or 1075 or 1077. Yeah, 1077, there 1082. So some higher calculation must be there, but it is really close to that. I've been saying compounding, etc. Right. So this is what it should be. The yield to maturity. At the end, if you do not understand anything, what you have to do is that the people in the Security Exchange Commission that have put it out for everybody to see. The United States government body. So this is an official document, and this is just a report by a journalist, George Matthew. This is just a report by any a single person, and that is based on a report by another single person, and there has been lesser amount of research, whereas this is completely official and hence much more reliable. So what they have, so in this sense, if you do not understand anything, all you have to see is when the market interest rate decreased, yield to maturity decreased. If the market rate interest rate increased, yield to maturity increased. Interest rate and bond yield are going in the same direction. Interest rate and bond yield are going in the same direction. It has to go in the same direction. This explained is wrong, hence it is wrong. Their explanation is also in reverse of what this in short they have said. They have said a rising interest rate causes bond prices fall and bond yields to rise. That is, rising interest rate means bond yields will rise. So in short, a rise in bond yields means interest rates will have fallen. That cannot be true because there is a relationship. So that is what I wanted to say. Indian Express is wrong. Please do not commit this mistake in the exam just because some newspaper incorrectly reported it. All right, thank you. टैरिफ वाला मुझे पता था फंक्शन सीआरसी का, बट देयर इज रेगुलेशन ऑफ ट्रांसमिशन, टैरिफ एंड ट्रांसमिशन, एनसीडीसी मुझे पता था, पावर लूम्स. This is okay. So this sovereign guarantee is something that is given to the executive. What does that exactly mean? We will see. Borrowing the state. ओह ये तो काफी फेमस भी था यार. फोर्थ लार्जेस्ट. हाँ तो ये तो कम्प्लीटली पता था मुझे ये भी. 69. Oh, very very good. To improve light. Oh, so these are competing theories basically. I get it. Fasai. Initially, now it's oh. हाँ. फर्स्ट वाला तो मैंने पता करेक्ट, सेकंड वाला मैं यहाँ पे मैंने मिस्टेक कर दी, सिक्किम के बीच में भूटान भी तो है. दिस लास्ट चेंज. Ah, shit. Array, yeah, this was also. Yeah, shit. अरे यार, ये लास्ट ईयर हुआ था. Maunder minimum was exactly last year. Yeah. Ah, okay. Very close. Too close. Bro, I was so focused. Damn. It was really fun, bro. Oh, Adam's event. Lamberg's क्या था वो? Leclerc's last chance. Excursions. 42,000. Go. Right. Alien का ये क्या है? Eolian. Eolian hardness. What is Eolian? Chain feeding energy. Is it? अच्छा. Alright. What is relating to or arising from the action of wind?
Aeolian.
Aeolian. Aeolian. Alright. सहारा की डस्ट में बहुत आयरन है. Ah, okay. Orange sky due to Sahara dust. Major in Grand Valley. Oh, snow पे Canada. Sahara से आ रहा है. Okay, 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 fine. International Charter on Space and Major Disasters is a worldwide collaboration among space agencies through which satellite-derived information are made available to provide satellite-based Earth observation data can be members. ओके जिन पे सैटेलाइट है डेटा प्रोवाइड करने के लिए वही. ऑलराइट. ये सैटेलाइट इमेज है. दिस ब्लू है. Oh, okay. So this blue is not the sky. This is just a representation of the data. Copernicus. Ah, okay. Okay, yeah, right. So basically, this international charter does what? It so the countries who have an Earth observating satellite enter into this charter, and what they want is that all of these countries' satellites are used when any major disaster occurs to get the information about how it happened, where it happened, and why it happened, possibly if you can know that basically the information of these uh, satellite is given. No. At credit default swap, I knew about credit default swap. So basically, extended fund facility was availed by Pakistan to fix its BOP and structural imbalances. Environmental DNA, metabolism, the all processing biodiversity. Okay. We're gonna often show the Great Lakes, expanse of the wetland and scenic rivers. Gunma is described as a water-rich nation, and it is with 7% of the world's renewable freshwater. It is 7% of the world's renewable freshwater supply. However, freshwater sources are far from endless. Many of Canada's 25 watersheds are under threat of pollution, habitat degradation, water overuse, and invasive species. For example, more than half of Canada's population lives in the within the Great Lakes watershed, Ottawa Basin and St. Lawrence Basin, which face multiple threats that degrade water quality and undermine the ability of freshwater ecosystem to keep functioning. The story of the Great Lakes watershed is not unique. In Canada, 10 additional watersheds from the Winnipeg to the Fraser Lower Mainland watershed face very high levels of threat. The water quality in more than half of Canada's 167 sub-watersheds, smaller freshwater systems that drain into a specific watershed score poor or fair. In Canada, these watersheds are faced often inaccessible, vast, making it difficult to monitor the health of these ecosystems. But with the help of the new tool, scientists and community members are collecting data to better understand the state of Canada's rivers. Data deficiency. Rivers are full of all kinds of small creatures that are highly sensitive to environmental environmental threats. The worms, flies, macroinvertebrates. The bottom river, the benthos, can serve as biological monitors. Oh, okay. So macroinvertebrates can serve as biomonitors for water quality. The presence of biomonitor species that are less tolerant to poor waters, rivers. They can challenge a sample and identify these macroinvertebrates. Even when there is some data on them, the quality of data may not be good enough to determine the health of the watershed. To date, 64% of sub-watershed lack data on these species, led by flathead mayfly larvae, bean-set caddis fly larvae. These species are microorganisms. DNA technologies have revolutionized the amount of data we can generate, tame, and completely destroy. For example, one technique called environmental development. Sure, let's take examples that work. have near zero carbon footprint. Hydrogen is 2 to 3 times as efficient as burning petrol because an electrical chemical reaction of combustion fuel cell use hydrogen gas to power fuel cell like battery powered mainly cars. इंजेरे पोरे ये बोला इन्वेस्टमेंट कुछ भी था मतलब कुछ भी सारी सिटीज ऑफ एवरी कंट्री थोड़ी याद रहनी चाहिए ये क्या है हर जगह कुछ ना कुछ तो हो ही रहा है something or the other is happening everywhere how can you remember everything that is so unfair basically what is not in it this is this true this is okay alcohol So alcohol is remaining. I am actually very concerned with this horrific crime, but please understand that this was the right thing to do. Please don't go, especially as being a man. Please don't go into dangerous areas, especially in a place or in where a crime is happening in front of your eyes. The situation is very volatile, especially if there are more than one people. The situation is very volatile. Please do not risk your life because it takes one shot to die. That's it. It takes only one shot to die. That can come from anywhere. So please, it was the right call. Call police. They will handle. They are trained for that, and there will be more than one people. Al-Hol camp in Syria is what remains a point of contention where kids are left of people of Islamic State. Al-Hol camp. Okay. Is the Syria's last remaining of size, basically. Islamic State. Majuli Assam. Alright. Session 5 and 6 are done. ब्रेकफास्ट सिचुएशन देख के आता हूँ ब्रेकफास्ट सिचुएशन देख के आते हैं जी well, I guess 10-15 minutes I will get the breakfast. So, yeah, so we will be back in some time. Bye bye.